Guten Tag, mes amis, wie geht's? C'est moi, Dita. Ich bin Dita. Yeah, so Dita's going to this morning coffee with Dita. Morning Turkish coffee live from the Hammer. So Dita's going to talk about his experience at Deb's fantastic place last night. She got this really nice house, big house, and you walk in there and you think you're in some professional recording studio. She had really nice gear, bunch of vintage amps. I played through a vintage Marshall last night. They love my guitar because no one there ever brings a nylon string guitar, so I brought my Godin nylon. And they had a nice drum kit. She had Kurzweil and a Hammond vintage organ set up, real nice PA, a real beautiful pedal steel guitar. There was a lap steel guitar there. She had a bunch of vintage guitars hanging on the wall, some Martins and Fenders and, well, you know, the American stuff. Anyway, apparently this group has been getting together for 40 years, 50 years. They all know each other from high school and university, and they're all around Dieter's age, so they've been playing a long time. Apparently there's a core group of about, I'm guessing, 7 people that kind of are the house band. They do this every Tuesday and Friday. But last night, because of the heat, guy showed up who drummed and played pedal steel guitar and guitar. There was another kind of rhythm guitar player and his wife or partner. She was a pretty good vocalist. And Deb, who runs the place, and then me and Matt, and then Deb, who runs the place, and another woman showed up who just did some background vocals and, you know, percussion stuff, you know, like castanettas and stuff, and swish boxes. And Deb, the lady whose place it was, got a good voice, plays pretty good guitar, and a pretty mean harmonica. So it was a great time. You always know when you wake up the next day and you haven't drank too much, because they did offer me a beer, which I took, and a couple of sambucas, and they liked my stuff, and they invited me back. So I think I definitely will go, because it's nice. Sometimes you go to these open mics and, you know, the regulars kind of take over, and they just keep doing the same shit. But these people really seemed open to the stuff I brought to the table. They never heard Peter Gabriel, so I did Secret World. They loved that song. I did some Don Henley and Eagles stuff that they had never heard, as well as some other stuff that they never heard. And then they played some stuff I never heard, and because the 2 guys there were mostly rhythm guitarists, it was fun for me to not have to do that, worry about chords, and I got to play some pretty cool leads that worked. Not everything worked, but some things were actually really, really good on a pro level. Some things were on a really good karaoke level, and some things were on a really good open mic level, and there was some stuff that was mediocre because either they didn't know the song or I didn't know the song, but we struggled through it, and that's what you do at these things. So just to give you an idea of what we played, we did some Jerry Garcia, which I never did. We did some Grateful Dead. We did some Vince Gill and Pure Prairie League. We did some Willie Nelson. We did some Roger Waters. We did some Pink Floyd. We did some Beatles. We did some Rolling Stones. We did some Moody Blues, which I had never done before. And some country stuff. They got pretty good country stuff. They knew a lot of country stuff, and I didn't ask. I just played along. A lot of the stuff was in G, right? And like a lot of country stuff is, so it's not that difficult to follow along. But Deb, you know, she's a good vocalist, and she had fun. And then there was one song I did. She wanted just me to keep going, and she started playing harmonica to it. Oh yeah, it was Whiter Shade of Pale. So they really enjoyed that. They had no idea about the chords in that, but they did a real nice 4-part harmony on that. So it was nice to do some 4-part harmony. So I think you can tell by how I'm smiling and not faking this and doing this as just got up that I had a really good time. I'm a bit skeptical when I'm invited to these things. And I even wasn't going to take a guitar, but I'm glad I did because they had guitars there that they would let me play. And they said, well, you're a bass player, we need a bass player, but I didn't feel like playing bass last night. I just wanted to feel it out. But because we got there early and me and Matt were the first two there, we set up and started playing my nylon string, and I felt comfortable with that. So I think it's important when you're invited to things that you, even if you know that there's going to be gear there, I think it's important just for, maybe it's me, my stress level in new instances can be very high. And it's one of the reasons why I call myself Dieter in the third person or pick. Because I found when I was using my real name, I just get too nervous when I push record. And for some reason, if I say, well, that's Pick doing it or that's Dieter doing it, it just seems easier for me. So, I'm a big believer in whatever works. So whatever works for you. But what works for me in a new situation, and I think next time I'm going to take because it looks like space could be an issue there, because my friend was saying sometimes lots of people show up. It was a good group last night. There were about 7 of us, which was perfect, I thought. And I think I'll take my small Art Lutherie Parlor nylon, and I think I'll take the nylons for the next while I go there, because they appreciated it, because they said no one ever has brought a nylon string guitar there. And see, it's good to stretch. And the thing I liked about these people, they were very open-minded. Everybody kind of took turns doing songs, and we collaborated on a lot of stuff. But they were very open to, okay, well, what you got? And I think it's important if you go to these things, that you stretch your repertoire, and it was good for me. I never really played. Like I said, Jerry Garcia or the Grateful Dead or Moody Blues, and I'm not a big fan, but they had a couple nice songs there, and so I'm sure they'll play them again if I go back there, and it's something that keeps you fresh. It's one of the things I have against some of these guitar channels, where they're just focused on one type of playing, and it's one of the reasons why I have so many guitars. I've had friends, well, not really friends, but people suggest, well, you're older and sometimes you complain. I don't really complain. Or, like I'll say, damn, like the one guitar I really want to have is an HG 56 or 46 Boucher, because I think that is the nicest guitar I've ever heard or played. And some people say, well, sell a bunch of your guitars. No, I'm not going to sell guitars to get a guitar. I have these guitars because I do play all this stuff. I know you don't see me play bass. I played bass for years, right? And I will do some more videos playing bass, but I have all my guitars set up differently, and they all sound different, and I love them all. And every time I pick one up, I go, that's why I got this guitar, for these types of songs, this type of playing. And to me, the HG 56 or 46, the number just means rosewood or mahogany. I'd be fine with either. Probably prefer rosewood because I have a mahogany Boucher already. But that's something to look forward to. And if I live another 20, 30 years, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to scrape up the $8,000 I need for it. Or I think it's just stupid. People that think, there's a perfect guitar out there. There's no such thing, There's a lot of really great guitars out there, and if you have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, good for you. I don't care what the name is on it, and you shouldn't either. If it's a good guitar, just play the damn thing. I mean, I don't feel bad that I don't get to play some of my or don't get around to playing some of my guitars. Sometimes even for a year. I didn't buy them for you. Quotes you. If you think I'm stupid, fuck off. I don't care. they're mine. They're paid for. I enjoy them, and it's not because I'm a hoarder or anything, but I do know, especially now because I'm kind of jazzed about playing again, that hey, I'm going to go over to my storage locker tomorrow and pick up this thing, and I'll put this one away. And you guys know I've been doing this. Like lately, I've been playing my Montreal a lot, and the more I play it, the more I love it. So I'm not going to sell that thing. If I looked at, you know, yeah, I could sell like 4 or 5 guitars and get the Boucher, but then I would miss those 4 or 5 guitars that I spent a lot of time picking out. You know, and I see this regret or remorse all the time on these other YouTube videos where guys go, I had one of those. I should have kept it. Yeah, dumbass, you should have kept it. So anyway, if any of my 7 loyal viewers win the lottery and can spare $8,000, I would appreciate it, because you know where it's going. It's going straight to Robin Boucher. Eh? I say, Robin, I want an HG 56 or 46. So that's all I want. All I want. This is my bucket list, my big bucket list. I don't want any fancy cars or trips or anything. I want a Boucher HG 46 or 56. So I don't know how this segued into a commercial and a plea for donations. But hey, that's Dieter. He's spontaneous. Anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and thanks to Debbie. She's a great host, and and thanks for inviting me back and for being so welcoming. And I had a really, really good time. And yeah, that's what it's about, people. You gotta have fun. And I don't know if you notice it, but I notice it. I'm having fun. I'm having more fun with this, and it's just easier. I mean, see, you don't worry. I mean, these guys were playing stuff I'd never played before, and you know, I got some of it right, some of it wrong, but that's the whole thing. When you're in a big mix like that, you can get lost, and you know, if you want to stand out a bit, you think you got something that's good, you just cheat up your volume a bit. Happy plucking. Have a good day.